I guess talking about a lot more than, even us. David, of course, right now all we know is we don't have him right now. We don't have availability to him right now, so we treat it like that. But, it speaks to who he is. It's just speaking to who he is, mental toughness-wise, the physical toughness part of it. I probably have overlooked his best talent. And it's his mental toughness. There's no question in the world, no person in the world that I would say that is mentally tough as this young man. To go out and battle throughout the game the way he did, I just, can't say enough about him. And I went to see him on Monday night when I left work. I didn't go home. I just went over to his house. And I went over there, I'm going to bring some juice. I'm going to get him pumped. He's going to be ready to go. There's no question about it. And when I walked out, I felt so much better because he pumped me up. He gave me the juice. So, just going to continue to support him. And if anybody can come back through it, you guys know, you guys have seen who he is. This is the guy that definitely can come back from it. But, there's no woe is me moments, though, in our room, in the building. None of that, man. We got fantastic players. We got good scheme. And our players, we've always been players over scheme. And our players we got guys ready to go, not only in our room, but in the other side of it. And you know what? We're exactly where we're supposed to be right now. This is the way things have worked out. Our head football coach has preached grit ever since the day I got here. And what other way to display who we are than this opportunity that we have now? And, just watching Dan when I came back in the building on early Monday morning, nobody was hanging their heads. We know exactly what we got to do. We know how we're going to go about doing it. And we're going to finish writing our story. And that's exactly what we plan on doing over the next, 6 to 7 weeks. And we're looking forward to it.
What did David say and or do to fire you up?
Well, as soon as I walked through the door, he was smiling. That was the first thing. As soon as I opened the door and I walk in, he was smiling. His son was there. Some of his family members were there. And it wasn't gloom and doom. It was bright in there. The Christmas decorations were everywhere. He had his lights. He was very proud of his lights, by the way. I don't know who did them, but his lights outside of the home are beautiful. But he was very proud of it. And we were talking immediately. He didn't talk about the injury. We started talking about the game and started talking about some of the things that went on, some of the protection that he was able to still be able to get done in some of the situations that he had going on during the game. And it just continued to get, a little bit more juice, a little bit more energy, a little bit more joy. So by the time I left, I felt really good about where he was. I really thought he was going to be down in the dumps. A guy that has done it as hard as he's done it from February to now. You think that, sometimes you can look at it as woe is me. He had none of that. So if he doesn't have any of it, none of the rest of us better have any of it.
We pretty good understanding what Jameer brings to the table and how he's able to keep the room elevated, but it's not going to be a one-back show here. It never is. So what is the confidence in Craig and Sione? Is Sione ready to contribute to this room as well?
We haven't even had a practice yet, but he's worked his butt off, Sione has. But, Jamar Jefferson is a guy that, I'm very proud of going into camp, coming out of camp. I thought this guy had tremendous value. Sione, tremendous value. Craig had tremendous value. They have an unbelievable opportunity today in practice to compete against each other for some of these opportunities. There are a little bit more opportunities. We'll continue to make sure Jameer gets, a little bit more of the action there. But those three guys will have a good chance to compete today for what's going to happen on Sunday. I really like the fact that they're going to go out and practice hard, and we're going to get to evaluate them again. And it's not just about their history or body of work. It's about right now. That's kind of where we are right now. But Jamar, tremendous short area quickness, good vision in the run game, did a tremendous job in camp of creating a lot of explosives. He actually might have had the most explosives in camp in real running settings there. Did a really good job for us. Sione he's continued to get better from what you guys, it's hard for you guys to see it, but where you show some of your detail is in the show team reps. And Sione has done a wonderful job there. And then Craig, just so much confidence in Craig. Run game, pass game, protections. He's very, very sound in his protections. Siane's been very good in his one-on-one situations and pass protection as well. So we're really happy with where those guys are, and I'm anxious to see him go compete in practice today.
What is, Dan said the other day that obviously you're going to ride, Jameer to a certain extent, but you got to be careful about the reps, going forward. What is the idea? How do you manage? He had 30 touches against the Raiders last year, so he's done those big workloads. What's an ideal sort of
I think he said, Coach said it best. Like, it's not just about this week, too, right? It's about, how we progress moving forward and then also getting guys ready. All right. So there's a part of that as well that you got to get guys ready. So you don't want to go out there and give him 60 reps. If we can get him down, in the 40s in his reps and then, supplement some of those things that we do with the other guys, then it'd be great for us. But touches, he doesn't need a lot of touches in some situations to get big yardage. So I don't think it's as much about the touches right now as it is just maintaining what we do from just a rep point.
Scottie, from your perspective, what impacted the run game against Buffalo, especially early in the contest?
Oh, man, one of the things they did a good job of is they did a good job of being in some single high situations and just getting us off of it. But it also created some stuff in the passing game, as you can see. But, we keep saying this, it sounds repetitive. We got a little bit closer in a couple of situations, with Jameer, a couple of runs, nice runs in there. But one block, one read, right? And those are not necessarily just, blocks on the interior. There could be exterior blocks, and there's not necessarily reads from the back. There could be pullers that are reads. We got to get that corrected. And I think that, being able to get back to practice last week and practice again this week, it'll start to show up. And we feel pretty confident about it. And now we got to create some of those explosives. And we think that, with just the repetitive practice that we'll have and getting some of these looks multiple times, then we'll start to get right back on track there.
You bring up Jamar. It's 3 years to the day tomorrow that he last appeared in a regular season game, and I think we saw the improvement during camp, but didn't see maybe where there was a place for him. Can you maybe speak to just the mentality of having that long of a gap and continuing to fight for your spot in this league and an opportunity?
Yeah, imagine being in the championship rounds of a boxing match for 3 years. That's what he had to do to stay here and to stay present and to work his butt off. So you got to have a different type of grit. You got to have a different type of mental toughness to have to leave the building, get called back, to come in and still be available and never miss a beat. One of the most impressive things about him is that he doesn't need a lot of reps to be able to be game ready. And we see that in practice. We can just throw him in if something happens in practice. There's not a lot of alignment issues or path issues or reads or even protection issues whatsoever with him. And then you got to love the game. The only reason why these guys continue to come back every year is that it's the love of the game. It's not necessarily about just the opportunity to play, but you love this. You love being in the locker room. You love practicing. You love being coached. You love getting better. That's who Jamar is right now, and it's going to be great because last opportunity he's had to play in games, he's done pretty well. So he'll get a chance to do well this week, and we're just concentrating right now about today's practice, and that's where I'm trying to keep his head as much as I can. I want to see him play hard today, finish, be protection sound, and then when you get an opportunity to carry the football, let's finish. Let's finish it. Thanks, guys.
Was going through before that game, and
unfortunately not a clue.
It is who he is, but is that annoying in any way as a coach?
I kept trying to figure out, why is this dude so tired? He won a couple routes and he just looked like he was just, sucking wind. Man, you all right? Yeah, I'm good, coach. And so, it just speaks to who he is and how he goes about, preparation and getting ready for the game and not really trying to put what he's got going on anybody else, so.
Goes out as a career best performance. Does anything surprise you with him anymore?
Nah, not really. You always expect him to toe the line and be ready to go, and he certainly did that Sunday, so.
Why has he been such a good fit here for your room?
Because he's a football player. That's the one thing we talk about, not just having guys that can catch the ball, but guys that can block, guys that are smart. So those things right there, and then coming in and picking up the offense right away. You got to be smart to be able to do that, and he's certainly shown that. He's been physical in the run game, and even with the ball in his hands. And then, him and Jared hit it off right away in terms of, just getting to the spot and being where he's supposed to be, and Jared's just been able to trust him. And that's a big deal. You get to trust the quarterback, you go a long way.
You didn't have a lot of efficient runs on Sunday, but on one, you could see Allen Robinson around there flying around, throwing multiple blocks. Yep. It's a guy that's his entire career has been volume reps, volume targets, yep. and that's not what his role is here. Can you just speak to, his football character, the way he's fit into that role, and what does he mean in the in the locker room when he's maybe not contributing on the field?
I mean, he's a professional. Let me start with that, just in terms of showing up every day and not, hey, I've been in this league for a while and I know it all. Like, he wants to learn every day and not just our stuff. Well, what was the defense saying on that, or what was this coverage, and why did they give us this coverage? He wants to understand it all. And then this idea of, can't get him a whole lot of reps because of, the guys that are in front of him, but he's ready and he's watching and he's waiting, so when his opportunity comes. And it speaks to who he is, and obviously it represents our locker room. Like, the next guy be ready to go. As you can see with all the injuries that we have, especially with our defense, like, guys are ready to step up and ready to go. And that's what you need, for the, part of your team. You want guys like that. And he continued to show up and shows us that. And when his number gets called, he's always ready to go.
I'm proud of the fact that you guys had the lowest number of drops and drop percentage in the NFL after 15 weeks. Just how much has an emphasis has that been all off season? After that number kind of was a little bit significantly higher last year than it normally was. To be now number one in the NFL, proud of you of that.
Proud of it. Want to keep it going. Like, it doesn't. We want to finish these next games out, and be able to do that. But kudos to our guys in terms of what they did in the offseason in terms of working, and we stressed it. So it's just a matter of, Jared putting it where we need to, giving us an opportunity to catch the ball, and then taking your eyes to the ball to be able to catch it. And that was a big focus for us in the offseason, and just not turning away from it. So I'm excited and proud of what we've done so far, but I'm excited to take it to another level this next couple weeks, because we had 2 last week. Really, I say 3 in my room, so it's we got to get back at it.
Did you see the photo of you pointing at Jameson on Thanksgiving? What was the message when he had that penalty in that situation? Because everyone kind of noticed it.
Yeah, of course I saw it. Everybody sent it to me, and then the message you just can't do that. That was the message, and don't ever do it again. Was what came out of that conversation, everything everybody saw.
Message doesn't change after you see the aftermath and saw you was tripped.
It doesn't change.
Yeah.
It doesn't change. This is what you have guys in the league that do that, and it gets, if it gets under your skin and you let it get under your skin, they normally get the guy who reacts the second time. So, and that's what happened to J-Mo.
Ryan has been with you since you started here, and he doesn't have these podium sessions. Some of these lower level assistants don't get a lot of attention. I'm just curious, what does Seth bring to the room? What does he do to help you do your job to the best of your ability?
Well, I think the detail of everything that we have going in, whether it's pass game or run game, the splits, the depth of the routes. Like, if I'm missing something and not sure of something, I can go ask him. That's what he brings to me. And then if it's anything that I need throughout the week, getting ready for an individual, like, he always has an answer for it. And then as an offense, like, he comes up with some of the plays you guys see, like, he comes up with things. He sees it and, hey, Ben, we need to put this in. Like, and we go over, we try to throw everything at it to make it not work. But yeah, it works. So he has a real good knack for that. And we have to remember, like, he had the room for, call it 8-10 weeks when he was in San Diego for a while. So it's not new to him, and he is certainly a big part of what we do. Love Seth. Seth's been great for me and for our offensive staff.
Thank you.
Well, all right.